Nerds and geeks, it's about to definitely go down deep, deep, deep into darkness. The legendary Nerd O Roundtable is here for a double dark dose of What If. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm looking for some upliftment after yet a second trip into the damn world of hopelessness with Marvel's What If. Tom is talking Cunningham what it is, good sir.
Hello.
Anthony from 2 Cubicles Down.
Hello.
Ryan Twitch Master McBain.
Hello there, children.
And Mo Kelly.
I say there.
All right, so look here. Last week, because we spent all our money on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings and the fight that was, we did not, first of all, get into what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands, and that is why we are doing a double dose of Nerdorama What If reviews, reviewing that as well as yesterday or today, I saw yesterday, but today's episode of What If ... Zombies. All right, look, the Doctor Strange episode. I watched it again before watching the Marvel Zombies. Just say like, maybe it wasn't as dark as I thought. No, it's even worse. That is quite possibly one of the most depressing trips into anything animated ever. The sheer hopelessness of that episode, wringing every single iota of joy out of life. Like, what the fuck is going on with What If?
The entire universe reduced to a man-size Crimson Bands of Cytorok coffin is a lot. I mean, Thanos didn't even do that.
I needed a drink after that episode. I was like, yo, man, give me a drink.
That was
damn.
That was hard to digest afterwards.
Jeez.
Man.
I mean, you have this guy who's going and abusing the time stone over and over and over again to save the love of his life, only to watch her die in one worse way after another. From car crashes to choking on pizza to just coronary. I mean, it's just, there was no helping this man. And every single time you thought, okay, they're going to turn the corner, they're going to do something. Hey, this is Disney, and have someone come in and save him. Someone talk some sense into him. No. It got to the point where the watcher was like, yo, this motherfucker's tripping. He's about to destroy the whole universe. Like, should I step in? Nah, I can't, because I don't even think he would listen. Yeah.
I think you had to watch these episodes back to back within a short amount of time, because if anything, I think they paralleled one another, because they're both about love. They both use an infinity stone in a warped way to help save their loved one. One was on a very personal level as far as love, one-to-one, and the other was one-to-one, but also was on a global level, the implications. So I think that there are a lot of parallels. They're both black as shit. I can't call them dark. They were like midnight, blue, black, dark. There was nothing emotionally redeeming about either of them. I didn't feel good about either of them. It's like when Thanos actually, I don't want to get too far ahead, but when Thanos actually showed up in the latest episode of What If, it's like, fuck it, that actually might be better than what we were looking at going in, because I didn't think there was any hope for anyone.
So, I mean, when you look at the trajectory of how What If is set up, this trip into the MCU, and I thought it was going to go a different direction. I thought, with the first episode, what if Sharon Carter became, Captain America, and there was a lot of hope in that episode. And then they gave us, the what if T'Challa had become Star-Lord, which was full of, redemption and joy and just a happy ending. And I was like, wow, this is a really good, fun series to watch. And then they just said, no, it's not. And they hit us with, what if the Avengers had all died out the gate? And that's like, well, that's grim. What the fuck is that about? Like, what a dark turn.
You want
then
grim?
It got worse.
Hold my beer.
Right.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That was dark as well. Yes.
I mean,
it literally, I mean, I wouldn't even say the Captain Carter episode was that bright and uplifting. I mean, the same thing happened to her as happened to Steve Rogers. You got to suffer the heartache of, her having to get frozen in ice And if
That episode,
everybody's gone.
that
But
episode
that's
kind of
final
like
30 seconds though.
Yeah.
it kind of pulled at your heart a little bit. But these last 2 episodes and
last 3.
Yeah,
3
in a
yes,
row.
but like they kept getting
3 in a
darker and
row.
darker and darker.
Yeah.
And I think that Disney was like, okay, let's slow down here. Let's put some more Scott Lang in here because it's getting really fucking dark. Because like he ruined it for me in this episode. Because this episode might have been one of my favorites, but
His
the
Futurama
humor at
head.
the worst times and the stupid dad jokes just were not working for me.
I just didn't understand how the Futurama head thing helps.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I also have a question. So here's a double question about now that we're into the current episode just briefly. 2 things. Thanos was inside the Wakandan shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was.
Okay. So if he gets the Mind Stone and snaps to kill half of life,
Living. Mm.
does anybody on the planet actually die? Because they're all not alive.
No,
Well,
it
On
depends
that
what-
planet, yes, but not throughout the universe.
No,
Yeah,
I
but-
know. I'm just
Yeah.
saying on Earth, who dies when he snaps?
But you're assuming that his mind is in the same state where he's thinking about half the universe in a zombie form.
Well, that's true. So maybe he just turns everybody into zombies because
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, and if any of you have seen, the source material, the Marvel comic Marvel Zombies, which started off as a kind of a sort of a what if yet an Elseworlds kind of story, and it got so popular that they were like, okay, we have to turn this into its own thing. And it was a world that was full of just some of the most graphic, just horrible murders and just killings, where you had zombies who were fully functional. This is Captain America, and he's a zombie, and he's out there just throwing his shield and taking people's heads off to eat more meat, to eat more people. Yeah, the Hulk zombie, even Galactus got turned into a fucking zombie when he came down to the planet to try to say, well, I'm Galactus and I got this. No, motherfucker, you're a zombie too now. I didn't know if this series or this episode was going to be as hopeless as that comic book, because that's a comic story that didn't end on a good note. It really didn't. And even when they tried to bring it back, it was like, no, shit is still bad. We're just letting you know how bad it got. The fact that they started off and they said it's the Avengers' fault, because when they stopped in to try to stop this zombie, plague, we're the Avengers, haha. And then Cap got bit, and then they all got ransacked on the bridge, San Francisco bridge. That was like, oh well, shit.
Yeah,
How come
that
Hank Pym is always fucking shit up.
Dude,
Dude,
talk about going to
that
somewhere
Hank Pym
not
bite.
prepared. They weren't prepared. Like, dude, like, but y'all know what you're doing?
So again,
Isn't Iron Man and T'Challa, aren't they in their vibranium suits? How's he biting through?
no. Remember, Tony, he slept, he jumped down and had his helmet down. Like he was thinking, I'm fucking Tony Stark. Because when they all came out, they were all just, look at me, I'm an Avengers.
And Vision actually captured Black Panther.
Black
Panther, yeah.
Yeah. So Vision chopped Black Panther's leg off as a
It's a
snack,
snack.
for Wanda. So his vibranium didn't mean shit, I guess, against that Mind Stone.
Yeah. And again,
I-
this is an episode where it all starts off where Scott Lang and his adventures, into the quantum zone, it all fucked everything up. Well, actually, they blame this one more on Janet, and her
Right.
desire to go get her mom. And when they got down there, they were like, oh shit, mom's is really fucked up. She's a zombie. And they brought it back. They brought that back to the world. I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting take on the Marvel zombie plague and how it started, but where it went, the fact that we're seeing really and truly, and I think that if the Zompox was real, I think it would spread that fast just because of how fast COVID spreads, and the fact that fuckers are just stupid. We'd be out there and all of us would be getting bit. But there was no hope in this episode. I know they tried to give us hope. They tried to give us the Hank Pym head, which was, again, that was the only thing that annoyed me about this episode. I was wait, what? What are you talking about? You cannot put a human head in a jar and just let it function and speak. There's no esophagus, no nothing. How is this possible? That to me was just, I understand. I get it. It's a cartoon, but it's a cartoon that's supposed to be based on some type of reality. You can't do that. You can't have the Futurama floating head. That was stupid, and the dad jokes were bothersome after a while.
At the worst times, dude, they're about to fucking die, but from Wanda, who's a zombie. Her powers were off the charts, and he's just cracking jokes. Like, dude, shut up.
Well, that's
I
one
did
of the
like they
things I
used him, though.
actually. Yeah, I liked the fact that these zombies, perhaps owing to the fact that the virus was a quantum virus, actually retained their entire skill set, and they could think and process strategically. At least the Avengers exhibited that level of skill. Most of the regular humans didn't appear to be able to do that, but for the Avengers who did, and even the Thanos. So I guess maybe it's all meta beings. Thanos clearly had an agenda with his gauntlet that was not a challenge for him to continue to do whatever the hell it was he was going to do. We don't know, because already Earth was a hot mess. But it was bleak, because when Hope was blasted off, we thought, oh, Wakanda is fine, and they'll go to Wakanda and they'll figure it out. And it just looks like Okoye died for nothing.
Well, and that, I think it was dope the way they lined it up with the beginning of this episode, starting with the beginning of Infinity War, where, you know, Bruce Banner or the Hulk is beamed down
Back, right,
into Strange's, you know, Sanctum Sanctorium or whatever, and he's like, hello, Thanos is coming. Oh shit, wait, where's everybody at? When they jumped out on the two dudes that came with the whole spiel of, like, you know,
Ebony
humans,
Maw?
you're Ebony Maw, and them like, you're about to die and blah blah blah, and they came up out the damn Doctor Strange temporal zone and just start fucking them up and eating them. I was like, oh shit, off the bat, this is bad. This is all bad. And I love how Mark Ruffalo, who made an appearance in this, was like, oh, hey, you guys are taking this a bit far. It was really, really dope hearing
that was
all the actors in it.
Funny.
That was dope.
Can we give it up one time for the cape, which literally was caping fools in that episode?
Yes.
I mean, thank goodness the cape couldn't have been infected, because it would have been way left. But
can you affect the cape?
You can't infect the cape. Cape said, hell no.
Zombie
I ain't got
cape?
no blood. F your saliva. I'm good. We kept Peter all safe and everything, and that when Cape saving people was like, I mean, that was my Loki alligator of this episode. I loved Cape.
Cape was dope.
When you see when
I love
Peter
Cape.
was wearing cape?
Who?
Peter was wearing
Peter.
them.
Right. Well, I didn't understand. At first, I was like, wait, is Peter supposed to become the Sorcerer Supreme or something? When I saw that little clip before, and I was like, oh, okay, so Cape is just caping for him.
Yeah, I'm just down. I'm down with you,
also,
Spider-Man.
how many actors actually did their own voices? I think the only ones who didn't do it in this was
it was Spider-Man didn't.
Spider-Man.
Captain America had his brief comment.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, that was somebody else.
Yeah.
But I mean, hell, even David Dastmalchian.
Yeah,
even he was in it. Yeah,
I was confused for a second, because it was Kurt and he had an XCOM badge, and I was like, wait, is this Nightcrawler? I didn't remember the Kurt the Dalmatian character from Ant-Man, and I was like, he's got the accent, but he's not blue. What's going on? And then I actually had to Google it to realize that that's who it was.
It was actually him.
Yeah, it was him.
No, very dope. I mean, look, Danny Guerra.
Yeah.
I mean, look, everyone else was back.
To me. Yeah,
no,
and
she
I think
did.
that's great. I mean, you really see the actors are dedicated to this. Like, they're really pulling them
absolutely.
In. And it's
and Sebastian Stan with that end of the line thing.
Yeah,
that was it.
Wow.
He didn't sound like sad enough that he killed Steve, you know.
But he
maybe
said
Steve was dead for what?
Yeah, he accepted it. He's like, you're dead, buddy.
Look, he didn't even show any emotion when they cut Falcon in half.
No,
he tried to, but
they weren't
was like, sorry.
But they weren't really like buddy yet, you know.
Well, yeah, looking at the timing of it.
Yeah, the timing of it, yes.
Because remember, they connected as buddies after the snap. And the snap never happened yet.
I don't know. I'm really, really hoping. I'm praying.
Yeah,
that
I need
next
a break.
week is the Thor.
Is
we
the
need party Thor episode.
Look,
no,
we need that badly, because if we get Gamora slicing off heads or
oh my God,
anything, it's just gonna be bad.
Look, all I want is an episode that's like happy or all darkness. Don't like go darkness and then bring in some fucking guy on a
dad jokes.
Some dad jokes only has the head and trying to be funny. Just give me all darkness, or just stay consistent.
That
Just
was
go
pretty
back and
damn
watch a
all
Strange
dark to me.
episode.
Yeah,
You
it
want
was.
darkness, go watch Strange.
Strange was dude, Strange is my favorite episode.
Yeah, and here's this crazy thing. These episodes are dark, they're grim, they're horrible, but they're still some of the best television and some of the best, writing that we're seeing consistently from Marvel. They're sticking to a script and saying, what if this happened? And they're running with it. They're running with it. They're not afraid of doing anything because they just it's like they're given the candy store. They're the proverbial kids in the candy store, and they're able to just do whatever the hell they want. And it all makes sense.
I would
how do any of these then connect back? It could be. It seems like in the beginning, I could see it connecting back to the MCU. Now I'm like, I don't know how you get back to the MCU with any of this. Like, or is it just like this is just a standalone?
Yeah. Well, I think the good news is that it's pretty obvious that the ones that the only one so far I think that could connect is the Captain Carter one, because the rest of them end in such a final way that there really isn't anywhere to go with them. So, but they're already teasing the idea that Captain Carter is actually going to make an appearance. You obviously can't do anything with Boseman as Star-Lord. So, you're pretty much kind of left with, you've got these two, and then you've got three cautionary tales. We know that Chris Hemsworth is back, and we know that he's not going to be back as chubby Thor. So he's going to be back as fit Thor. And so maybe there's some bridge that can be done with that, because maybe Party Thor never does get fat because there is no snap or whatever. So there are ways that you could introduce it, but we do know that in what is supposed to be the final episode, it's the really, really dark one where Ultron has the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, like this.
So it's like
darker than.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying it's supposed to be the ultimate, the biggest one with the biggest consequences, because as of right now, even this last episode mostly just impacted the Earth, and the Loki episode, or the Dead Avengers, mostly impacted the Earth, with the potential of impacting the universe, because there aren't any Avengers left to ultimately stop Thanos if Thanos does, emerge. But I would happily watch the 4-hour extended version of anything set in the Marvel What If universe, because it has been an exceptional ride. It's been an enjoyable ride. It's been a thrill ride sometimes. It's got the classic humor. My only quibble really is that, for whatever reason, Ruffalo was better in this episode than he was in his previous appearance. They just don't really sound like themselves. And I don't know if it's because they don't look like themselves, and so my brain is saying this has got to be somebody different, but they don't really sound the way Chadwick Boseman did, I guess.
They're in a booth somewhere.
Another appearance.
Well, no, I get it. I understand why. I'm just saying it takes me out a little bit when I have to mentally juggle myself to say, yes, that is Sebastian Stan.
You're right, because Sebastian Stan did not sound like Bucky.
He didn't
in this episode.
He didn't.
Yeah, but T'Challa didn't sound like T'Challa in this episode, but he sounded like him in the second episode. It was really weird. I noticeably heard a difference in his voice in this episode than when he did episode 2.
I thought it was the reverse. I thought he sounded more like himself, perhaps because he was saying lines that T'Challa would say as a king. I found him to sound more like Black Panther in this one than in the other one.
That's where it was kind of throwing off. I was hearing, it felt like they just took the snippets of what he said from the movies and implanted those phrases in this episode.
I mean, they said that he recorded the material.
It sounded like that.
But let's remember too, at the time this was likely recorded, he was in later stages of cancer, probably. So it might have been trickier for him to get, the same read that he would have gotten if he were in full health.
Hey, Tom, and we all know someone who's passed from cancer. So if his weight was dramatically less, that would definitively
make a huge difference.
Voice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Plus the musculature to support your voice.
Yeah.
Everything and it was colon cancer. So you figure all of the muscles around his diaphragm, everything that he would normally use to support a rich tone would be compromised. So
Yeah. More darkness, great. Yeah.
More darkness.
Exactly.
Right.
More darkness on the way. I don't know. Stepping out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for a second.
Sure.
Don't know if you guys have gotten into The Expanse yet.
I saw the first episode.
Look, The
That's a good
Expanse is
start.
by far one of the best sci-fi series ever put on television. I'm halfway through season 2. This shit is stellar. Stellar acting. Stellar. I mean, like, I thought season 1 was crazy. And then it just started getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And I was actually telling Mo earlier today, I was like, man, like, to me, this is like what I always imagined Star Trek could be. It just doesn't have the alien presence. And then they said, ha, got you.
Gotcha.
Here's your alien presence. Aliens are in effect in The Expanse. Yo, it's so gripping, so incredible to watch. I must apologize formally to all the Expanse fans who have constantly been hounding us to talk about this. They got Mo on board. I trust Mo's opinion. He said, like, yo, you're a hardcore sci-fi fan. Watch this. Damn it. You won't be disappointed. This shit is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Hey,
and we got the Punisher too.
Tom, I would say, since you like Star Trek Discovery, you would love The Expanse because it's heavy on the sci-fi aspect of it. So it's darker than Star Trek Discovery, but it's. I think Star Trek Discovery is a good analog as far as just the sophistication of how they go into the scientific aspect of it all.
Okay, I'm gonna get into it. I'm sorry, I fell into a Good Wife hole after The Good Fight. And so I'm in season 3 of The Good Wife right now.
Yes.
And so I am looking for something to pump up the nerd quotient. And so The Expanse is my next thing for sure. But damn, the Florix, they are doing the most right now. And my fellow rattler, Anika Nani Rose, is bad as hell in this show. Woo, she is the truth. She is the truth. Yeah, she and I actually went to school at the same time. We were both in the Playmakers Guild, which is a part of the Essential Theater at Florida A&M. She was much more demure back then. She's the business in this show. She ruthless.
Damn. Dr. Liz. Welcome to the party.
I'm only gonna be here for a few minutes.
Dr. Liz.
Look, I can show enough dig that. And while we got you, we just had finished talking about both what if Doctor Strange had lost his heart instead of his hands, and what if Marvel Zombie. So while we have you, what were your thoughts on those two stellar yet super blackety black, blacker than the blackest abyss black episodes?
Well, I still can't wrap my head around Doctor Strange caring so much because he's just such a jerk. And I do realize that he cares about being right and being this perfectionist. So I get that aspect. But I was like, but you do realize that I didn't think that you loved her in that aspect.
Well, he was definitely in the comics before his transformation into the Sorcerer Supreme. He was definitely more dickish than he was in the movies. In the movies, he was just more kind of a dilettante, but a guy who, to your point, was right. You know, he gets into the little beef with the other surgeon, but he's dancing to Earth, Wind, and Fire and doing all this other sort of stuff. He just wasn't as openly dickish and dismissive. Like in the comic books, he was a lot more like Peter Parker right before Ben got killed, when he was like, I got other things to do. Don't worry about it. Oh, Ben died. And then, you know, Doctor Strange was the same way. He was like almost a playboy, you know, and you can't tell me shit and da-da-da-da-da. But by the time we meet him in the MCU, perhaps owing to Benedict Cumberbatch and just, tweaking the way that the show worked, he needed a stronger love interest, and it couldn't be Clea. So they introduced a human to be his love interest. And so I think that definitely tempered his personality.
But his comics though can be kind of dark and strange. So that's why I was like, this is not too out of strangeness of Doctor Strange. But that what if the one that we just had last night, I absolutely I was like, this is just depressing.
That it was.
Yeah.
Huh? There's only been like really one good like uppity beat episode so far, and that was episode 2.
Yeah, that was uniformly upbeat. Yes.
Yeah. Everything about episode 2 was sky high on cloud 9. Made you feel good.
Yeah.
Even the joke of Ego coming to an end, him saying, this world-ending connection here in the end in this diner, could bring an end to the universe. But it was kind of like an offhanded comment. You already had so much fun watching the episode, you didn't pay attention to what that could, pretend to happen there. But yeah, no, I mean, again, this is an episode where you're like, fuck, man, like, are you guys trying to make a point with this? Are you guys trying to say like forget everything you know about this joy and this love that you have of the MCU? We can go dark. Like, did someone like mess with them? Or are they like, yeah, we see what DC is doing with the dark, palette and just everything being red and black or whatever? Yeah, fine, got it. We can go dark too.
These episodes are the argument for the sacred timeline. No, seriously.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
These episodes are the argument for the TVA and the timekeepers, whether they're proxies or whatever. These episodes are the argument for why it's so important for the multiverse not to be messed with.
One of the reasons why I love the What If, because in the MCU live action, usually it's the good guys win.
Right.
These episodes, you have no idea what's going to happen, who's going to die, where they're going to go. It can get real dark.
Was Tentacle Monster from episode 1 same as Tentacle Monster from Doctor Strange?
I don't think so.
I think it was, because
I think it was. Yeah.
It was certainly the same. Yeah. It was the same animation cycle. Yeah. The only thing we didn't see was the eyeball to confirm it was Shuma Gorath. That, as far as I'm concerned, that's the only thing. But the tentacles looked exactly the same.
Let's talk about the animation from episode 4. I think that's the best animation in the whole series so far. The Doctor Strange one.
Well, they had to do the most, right? Because they were inventing all these fantastic creatures. They had to do all of this dystopian magic world. It was, we saw Dormammu. We saw some Kirby stuff. It really ran the gamut because they leaned heavy into the Kirby psychedelica of Strange's world. So yeah, I agree. It was outstanding.
Can I give it up to Marvel for this? Again, it's fan servicing. In other words, if you've seen the movies, you can better appreciate it. But everything they've taken from the movies, they're giving you almost exact frames, or at least the framing of the scenes. It's like you're looking at the movie through the same lens, and it's almost like reaffirms. Like when we saw Banner go to Earth, it looked like we're watching Infinity War when he fell through the stairs. It's straight out of the movie as far as the frame and vantage point, and I really do appreciate them doing that.
Yeah, I'm wondering, when I look at this animation style, at times it looks like these are animated overlays over the actual film cells. Like they matched it, like they matched up the storyboards, like scene for scene, or they just said, let's take these actual, film scenes and animate. Like sometimes even looking at the characters in their mouths, the way the lips don't match up, it looks like they could not get the animation right, like laying it over the actual actors' faces to match up with this. There's something strange about the animation style altogether. It's like it's a throwback animation style, but yet it's one that doesn't look necessarily like drawn. It looks like it's digitally created over what they have.
Wait a minute. I just remembered why I had an unconscious problem with this last episode. Black Widow and Hawkeye were both turned into zombies before Vormir, where Thanos got the Soul Stone, and Doctor Strange was turned before he ever got to Titan, which is when Thanos got the Time Stone. But at the end, Thanos has the Soul Stone and the Time Stone,
Gamora.
and he's zombie, and he's on Earth already zombified. When by the time, remember when when the two Corvus and Ebony Maw came
Strange
to Earth,
was already zombified.
Strange was already zombified, and that was at the beginning of Infinity War, because Thanos doesn't even get to Earth until all the way at the end of Infinity War.
Well, remember, he got the Soul Stone with Gamora, not with.
Oh, that's right.
That one.
That's right.
But my still confusion is with the Time Stone off of Strange.
Because Strange still had the amulet.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, my question is, when did Thanos become a zombie?
Well, sometime after he landed in Wakanda, because in the movie, his people landed in Wakanda.
Yeah, but how did the zombies get into actual Wakanda?
Well, we don't know, because it could be that his forces, without the Black Panther and the other Avengers, they couldn't actually fight off Thanos's forces. And once some of Thanos's forces got in, some zombies also got in, and then they ran amok, and then they were able to reclaim the shield, but not before that breach allowed for a zombie infestation, which trapped Thanos inside, zombified as well.
Yeah, but he also had the Space Stone, so he could bring some folks with him.
Well, that's true too.
He knew how to do. They still.
But he wouldn't want to be zombied, though. I don't think.
Well, maybe. What if he thought he was too powerful? What if he was like, "No, zombies can't fade me." Oh, ouch! I'm big.
Well, but
it takes is one bite.
But to that point, Banner was able to maintain himself because they couldn't bite through the Hulkified skin, and Thanos was certainly as durable as Hulk. It's not like a single human bite could penetrate Thanos's skin.
I think I know what happened. So one of Thanos's crew got zombified, and they were stronger than the average zombie. That's
so
how
like
they were able
Proxima Midnight or somebody, or Corvus Glaive, maybe
someone like that. Yeah,
one of the Wonder Bears. You know.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just glad they explored the Thanos theory with Hope going into Carter and exploding her from the inside out.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I started laughing.
I was kind of surprised.
That was definitely an homage to the theory.
I was kind of surprised that Hope didn't kill herself, as opposed to allowing herself to be converted as Giant Hope.
And I thought you had to be still like contained in that suit when you go big or small. Like they busted that glass in that on her helmet, nothing happened.
Yeah, and I don't think
I don't know if that's a factor.
That long.
Huh?
I didn't
think they could either, because he made a point of saying he needed. Now he was much longer in Civil War than he was in the first. The second Ant-Man. But he needed orange slices at the end of that bigification.
Right.
She was. I mean, I guess she didn't need electrolytes because she was already zombie girl. But that tragedy of those zombies crawling up her ass as she was walking her final steps, man, that was.
Yeah, I was like,
dark.
man,
That was sad.
I was screaming at the TV like brush them off, brush them off. Why are they climbing on you?
She was holding them in her hands. She couldn't brush because she had the rest of the people in her hand. She had the whole Avengers in her hand. She had all the regular Avengers.
It got me more upset, or like I was like, wow. My biggest wow moment was Vision. What Vision did to Black Panthers, like he betrayed his friends.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, Vision.
They weren't his friends. No, remember, Vision always said that they were doomed when he was talking to Ultron. So I don't think that he had any type of real affinity for humans. He was on the side of life. He said he wasn't on the side of Wanda. Right.
I was before bros on that one.
Well,
hey man, that was cold.
I don't think he had an answer. No, I don't think he had an answer, because when they asked him point blank, he's just like, "Hey man, you got me." He couldn't answer the question.
He was like,
"Go back, seriously, go back in that episode." He goes like, I don't know, man.
She hungry, y'all. She hungry.
No. Sorry, Dr. Liz. Okay, she left the room. Good.
Yeah, she bounced.
Sometimes the pussy's that good.
Like Bucky's like, oh, I'm gonna go look around.
You.
Vision was just like, hey man, you're not gonna like what you're gonna find out.
You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it.
So
Bucky got caught up because he had Cap shield and Wanda got him. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because he tried shooting at Wanda and she threw all the bullets back at him. And then she threw him away. That's what it was.
Yeah. Did he escape?
Was that him hitting the plane?
That was hilarious. No, Hope.
No, I think it's just a random
zombie at the plane.
Yeah.
Oh, she threw a zombie at the plane.
Yeah.
Well, did Bucky die as well?
I don't think so. I mean, he was knocked away, and presumably, if he didn't land in a tree or something where he could use his robot arm to kind of stop his descent. Yeah, he's a super soldier. I think there's a fair chance Bucky is not dead. He was knocked out of the field of play.
Captain America jumps out of planes all the time without a parachute. So Bucky, I'm sure, could land somewhere.
Right.
So we got Bucky, maybe, and we got Thor, and maybe we got the Guardians that are still alive, possibly. Who knows?
You got Hulk. I mean, look, Hulk. As long as Hulk stays Hulk, he ain't dying. He can trade blows with Wanda, and as soon as he saw them leave, he could have did a Hulk leap out of there. I'm like, fuck it, I'm out.
And Thor is still in space because Banner got transported from the scene where Thanos killed everybody. Thor was still on that ship. So Thor has not been infected.
He's floating.
Well, he's with the Guardians. Maybe, perhaps.
We don't know. Right.
Yeah. Well, the Guardians hadn't made it to Earth at that point. So the Guardians presumably are and until Thanos gets the damn Mind Stone, because how in the hell is one-legged? How is one-legged Black Panther?
You want to know what I want to know?
Going to stop him from getting
you know what? Maybe this would have been a time that the Eternals could have showed up.
Well,
maybe
this would have been their reason. Get turned into zombies. Although, again, it wasn't a regular infection; it was a quantum infection. So maybe that's
true.
That's true.
Maybe. All I know is I'm like in the comic book. I'm trying to think who was one of the last people that we saw live in the zombies. I'm trying to think. I know Spider-Man was what he got turned early and was doing the most damage with folks. There were a lot of villains who were made. I can't remember who exactly made it to the end of that series when they were like, there's probably some hope. But I mean, look, some of the biggest, baddest folks, even Hulk in the comic.
No.
Man down.
I'm
should have got AT&T.
I'm just freezing to be in solidarity with Twala.
He was using the time stone again. Knock that shit off.
That lag stone.
Thank
you. Well, I got a question on this one. For them not using Tom Holland to voice Spider-Man in this, do you think that was contractual because of Sony? Or they're just...
Oh, he probably cost too much.
Tom Holland?
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
I think it's contractual.
I think it's probably contractual. Because remember, his Sony agreement was for X number of films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not other projects.
And they probably re-upped that because now, clearly Far From Home is going to be, or No Way Home rather, is going to be a huge mega whatever. And it's very interesting. We didn't talk about this yet. They actually moved up the Venom date.
Yes,
they
did.
had
by
threatened to move it 2022, but they have actually moved it to October 1st because I guess on the heels of Shang-Chi and they're breaking the records and they figure that they can get a fair return on their investment in this movie.
But now
it's actually, I don't know if I agree.
Yeah, but now films are actually going up against each other because you probably have Venom's October 1.
It's October 1, yeah.
You have Bond a week later.
Mm-hmm.
You have No Time to Die a week later.
Oh, I don't know why I thought it was the 22nd or whatever, but yeah, okay, right.
And then 3 weeks after that, you got Eternals. So now we're starting to see the competition in the movie theater.
Well, maybe. Wait, when is Dune?
That's October 2. That's the end of October, I believe. 20.
Boy, that's a jam up.
See,
because
exactly.
I'll tell you right now, whether or not Carnage has a great opening weekend, if No Time to Die is right after that, No Time to Die is going to be the #1 movie of that weekend.
Absolutely.
Right.
And we still got to see the box office returns from this upcoming weekend to see if Shang-Chi has the legs to carry it forward. So they may be preempting themselves, setting themselves up for failure. Like get one good weekend out of a film and then poof.
Well, but I think
there's even a Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
Really?
God damn, supposedly.
But I think they're making a calculation as far as not all the theaters may be open as we get to the holidays. And they're trying to beat any type of negative momentum in a COVID sense if we start sliding back in that direction.
And I think
you're right. No Time to Die is October 8th. Halloween Kills, which is that reboot, is October 15th. The Last Duel is October 15th. And Dune is October 22nd.
Mm-hmm. So I think they're just stacking it. Just get everything in the theaters for now, and just hope everything works out, and just keep steamrolling forward.
Right. Question: is anybody here actually going to see Carnage?
Yeah, I'm going to see it.
I haven't decided yet.
I'm not paying to go to the theater to see that. I'm sorry.
It's not. I mean, what's the best way to put it? Expectations aren't high.
No,
it's not worth catching COVID. I'm just saying. I mean,
well, it's A-list for me, so it's not a money thing. I now find myself a little intrigued. I am anticipating that it will suck, just because the first one was awful. So since I believe it will suck, it makes me think, well, why not see it just so that I can be a completist? Because what Sony appears to be doing is trying to incorporate and ingratiate itself into the Marvel hype juice as much as it possibly can. So I don't know, since it's not going to be HBO Maxi, and I don't know if I want to wait 45 days because that's going to cross into Eternals and everything else. And so I don't know.
Or No Way Home, whatever.
Yeah, No Way Home.
But my thing is, like, I bet you these are just, is it going to be great? No. Is it going to make money? Probably. No. Yeah.
Listen, the reason this movie got made is that Venom made $890 million or whatever worldwide. Yeah. And this one certainly isn't going to do any better than Shang-Chi or F9 or Black Widow. So you're looking at half the gross. Tops. Half.
Hey, Tom, since we were talking about Tom Holland contractually, since he's contractually beholden to Sony, can Sony pull a dick move and use Tom Holland, because they have the film rights to that Spider-Man, and do an end credit scene with Venom to set up No Way Home?
I'm sure they could do that, but let's be real here. If Sony pisses off Marvel's already said and shown, look, you guys can keep Spider-Man because your Spider-Verse ain't shit without us.
It really isn't.
It's not.
Yeah.
They both need each other. Let's be real.
Well, I'd say Sony needs Marvel more than.
Oh, Sony definitely needs Marvel more.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I think it makes more sense to try to bridge them after multiverse when you've opened up the multiverse in the MCU. Because if you try to do it before, Venom and Carnage would then supposedly be in the same universe as all of the other MCU films, which doesn't track for me. But if you wait until after Multiverse of Madness, not Multiverse of Madness, after No Way Home, then it makes sense because you've already teased that Vulture, or at least
and don't forget Mobius.
His name. No. You teased
Scorpion.
You've teased Scorpion, but you've teased Vulture. Also in Morbius.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you've already somewhat implied that something has happened between the universes, and Morbius is after No Way Home and before Multiverse of Madness. So it makes sense that that's the place that they would try to actually bridge it, because nobody wants to see Spider-Man in the middle of Venom and Carnage because it's all about Carnage. I will say the Carnage effects look good. It looks like
when was Mobius supposed to come out? Because it's already been delayed.
8 years ago.
Yeah, seriously.
It's 2022. Sometime because it was supposed to be this year.
Yes.
No, it's supposed to be 2020.
Well, no, I'm saying after the COVID bullshit.
Oh.
They pushed it back. It says January 28th now is the new release.
2022?
2022, yeah.
Whew, that movie's like 18 months behind.
Oh, yeah.
For Venom, that looked old, so Morbius might have the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't believe that Venom was actually released the year it was shot. It just looked
Venom
like
was filmed in 2002. They just didn't want to tell us.
No way.
No, he's being funny, but there's a lot of truth to that. I mean,
It
how
looks like
it's
it.
written, how it looked.
Written?
It's trash.
No mention of social media. They had phones that didn't have email.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's like, when was this movie actually shot?
They just finished the special effects later.
Yeah. Being serious.
Everything about the movie was weird. At the very ending, when he's walking into the store, it's light outside, and then when he walks out, it's dark.
It's
Like, dude,
dark.
how long were you in that fucking store?
He was really looking at all the chicharrones, trying to decide.
Really trying to find the right bag.
Yeah, should I do mesquite this time?
Do I want
Should
the
I
limon
do
on
the
it or the
tahini
chili?
special? Yeah, I just don't. I have to say, I don't like the Tom Hardy Venom because Tom Hardy isn't enough of a dick, and Venom is super vicious for Tom Hardy to not be a dick. And in all of the trailers, until they introduced Cletus going full on Cletus Cassidy, it was Venom is basically treating Tom Hardy like a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, it's supposed to be symbiotic. It's supposed to be a merged personality, perhaps with Venom and Venom's hatred, but hatred for whom? There's no whom to
There's no
drive the
rock.
hatred.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's just, he's already an anti-hero without ever being a villain. And
He just kind of fell into
He's
that
not
role.
well written. I totally
No.
agree.
And I'll tell you this much. Now that they basically told us the full-on Sinister Six are a part of No Way Home, that was a whole thing that Sony was trying to do. They were trying to build their universe, a separate piece of the Spider-Verse on the Sinister Six.
Yeah, with Andrew Garfield.
Right, with Andrew. Well, yeah, as the spinoff.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dehane was supposed to be kind of an anchor for that. They showed Vulture. They showed Octavius's arms. And now all of those people are going to be in No Way Home, including Sandman, which I didn't even see in the. I wasn't paying attention during the Electro thing that was Sandman in the mix as well. So that's even more impressive.
They'd already introduced Rhino as well, so he could.
Right, they had introduced Rhino. Yep, Rhino's the only one. They didn't introduce Scorpion, but Scorpion has been introduced now.
He was introduced in Homecoming.
In Homecoming,
in
right?
jail.
I'm saying in the Garfield verse,
the Garfield,
they had not introduced Scorpion, but now they have introduced Scorpion. So on screen, we have literally seen Scorpion, Electro, Rhino, Sandman, Octopus, Green Goblin. I don't think. Oh, and Lizard. We've seen Lizard too.
Well, Vulture.
Oh, and Vulture. Yeah. So you've got the erratic 8 at this point. So the Sinister Six changed a couple of times, and Kraven supposedly is on the horizon eventually.
What's his name playing Kraven?
Please no. Do not do the Kraven movie.
No.
Do not do the Kraven movie.
Well, apparently they're going to do it.
Well, and Morbius, but I mean, Morbius is still in the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But we just haven't seen him.
Play.
But Morbius, he's not one of the Spider-Man villains. He's like an annoyance to Spider-Man.
He's like
dude, stop biting people.
The
yeah,
witch.
he's not a
core
villain, but because of the bite and the blood and all of the things with clones and infections and all this other stuff, Morbius ends up playing in the Spider-Man sandbox a fair amount.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about vampires, how are they going to bring in Blade and vampires into the MCU?
When they bring,
they've already hinted that vampires are extremely powerful by way of Loki.
Yeah,
you know. And you know what's interesting is there's this huge thing going on right now on Twitter. It was started. I think that the hashtag was like "Get It Right." Blade started it all. And now, you know, and the new director of Blade, of the forthcoming Blade film, is like, look, Marvel needs to give Blade its just due. It all started with Blade. It did not start with X-Men or Spider-Man. And even Feige has weighed in and said, no, mad props to Wesley Snipes and Blade for starting it all, for giving us the vision, giving us the idea and the belief that it could happen, it could be successful. He did it unapologetically, and it was the spark that we needed to try to even pursue this whole world of doing superhero films. It all started with Wesley Snipes and Blade. So now everyone is like, do not erase Wesley Snipes' contributions to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's like huge on social media right now.
Can we still erase Stephen Dorff's contribution?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this though. In Doctor Strange, they have already introduced the Book of Cagliostro, and that is the book that has the enchantment that created vampirism. So they haven't referred to that piece of it, but they have introduced the tome, because that's how they ended up destroying Dracula, you know, temporarily or whatever.
Have you guys watched Doctor Strange movie yet lately after watching everything we've seen now?
Yes.
I haven't watched it in a while. But,
so there's a line in that movie where it says Dormammu hides at the place beyond time. When he's talking, and I'm just like, they've been setting this shit up since here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, this is just you go back and you rewatch the old movies, and you see how far back they've been plotting this stuff.
But Feige, that's because Feige is the real deal.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
But I said about maybe a month and a half ago, talking about Doctor Strange, where they introduced all, I'll say, the parameters of the multiverse in that first Doctor Strange movie.
Absolutely.
Like, I think that Doctor Strange movie, the first one, is going to be key for Phase 4 moving on.
I even saw something on YouTube where it shows that the sequence that we see in the No Way Home trailer of presumably Peter falling into the multiverse exactly tracks with the same energy tendrils and the same colors of the same energy tendrils that we saw in Doctor Strange, with the same background of the character falling into the same nexus as Strange fell into in the first Doctor Strange movie. So they're really connected. You have to go back when she deals with him and punches like the 20 Stranges out of him, and then he goes on that psychedelic trip and he falls into this big thing, and there's an energy stream going out of each of his extremities. Look at the No Way Home trailer and look at that same sequence, and the tunnel that he goes in even is exactly the same. So they are messing with people.
That is a rabbit hole.
They are serious. Even to the point where Tom Holland is shown wearing the exact same clothes that Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker is playing. Same blue shirt, same jacket, same tie. So they are not playing games with people.
I posted that picture in chat. Yeah.
It's, I mean, they are. This is what world building actually is.
When you do it right.
The question then is, are you all going to be rushing to theaters to see Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage?
No, probably not.
No. Not rushing. Oh yeah, you were in the time stone.
I was in limbo.
We were having this discussion. So that's a big no. But here's my other question. They are now saying that the Flashpoint trailer is about to drop in a number of weeks. And
that would make sense, because what's name said that DC they're supposed to be giving us at DC Fandom. No, at DC Fandom, they said that we're going to get the Flash trailer, the first look at Black Adam, the actual Batman trailers for Shazam, and one other project that they have in the works. There's one other film that's supposed to also, I think, the first looks at Batman, like some just stills, at least not a trailer or anything, but just like some behind the scenes stills from the Batgirl, Batwoman, Batgirl, whichever one they're doing for the HBO Max app.
Man, that would be hot if it was like a real universe and they're all connected.
I mean,
wouldn't that be though?
You know what?
Wouldn't that be?
Those 5 trailers are definitely going to be as impressive as the 5 full-length Marvel movies that are happening in the next 3 months. I mean, it's like, what are you trying to do, asshole? You had Suicide Squad that tanked, and you've literally got 5 Marvel property movies
between now and then.
Between now and the release of any of that shit. And you think you're going to blunt momentum? It's not happening, homie.
You know what's worse is I just got an announcement saying that my HBO Max app is leaving my platform. I have it on. I downloaded it
Roku
on Amazon Prime, and now they're saying, you know, if you have a Vizio TV or you have any of these other devices, you'll be able to get HBO Max there, but no longer on Amazon Prime. I'm like, oh, well, I might as well cancel the fucking subscription if that's the case.
What?
Yeah, Prime is dropping HBO from their platforms, if you will, like a Prime stick or Fire Stick. They're not playing well with each other. They're kicking HBO off, so you have to get it somewhere else, somehow else.
You can get it off your PlayStation, you know.
Right.
Yeah, but right now I have a Fire Cube connected to my goddamn 4K TV, and that's where I got all my shit. I got my Paramount on there, Disney. Hulu.
That's your business.
Amazon.
Right.
Damn,
that's your business.
You better write Jeff Bezos that strongly worded letter.
Yeah. Okay.
it's going down. Yeah, I literally got the message today from them saying, "Hey, we're sorry to inform you, but you're going to be losing HBO Max on your Fire Stick. So get it somewhere else.
Can't you get it on on Hulu? Isn't there some type of partnership on Hulu with HBO? Or am I wrong?
I don't know.
No, Hulu is Disney.
I think you're right. Shit. I think I actually purchased my HBO Max subscription through Amazon, like you, Twala. So I'm gonna have to figure out how in the hell that's supposed. Oh man, you were pissing me off. Not you, Bezos.
Yeah, I know, but it's crazy.
You think Bezos would just buy Sony? He bought
MGM, right?
Yeah, he bought MGM, which got the Expanse off of Sci-Fi and put it on Amazon Prime. That's why the Expanse is on Amazon Prime.
There's a funny story about that too. People wanted Bezos to buy Sony because in the contract with Spider-Man, they had it with a company came in and bought Sony. The Spider-Man rights would have went back to Marvel.
Revert back to Marvel.
So everyone was like, "Bezos, save us!"
Damn.
Bezos is like, I'd have to pull change out of a different couch to buy Sony.
It's too far to walk in the house.
Yeah, it's too far to walk. I'd have to get on my Segway to go to the couch that has the change to buy Sony.
It cost
because
him
I
more
emptied
money
out the change.
It cost him more money to look for it than it would for you, Jim. Just find it.
Yes, I mean, God.
Hey, Jeff Bezos owns Twitch, so therefore I love Jeff Bezos. That's all I want to
say. You know, somebody I saw a meme today. I didn't check it out, but it certainly sounded true. That said Sears ended its catalog business in '93, and Amazon started in '94. And if Sears had been able to maintain catalog and segue catalog into online, then we might not even have an Amazon because Sears was shipping everything to people.
But see, that's about having vision. I mean, if
absolutely.
If the Thomas guy had vision to know that GPS was coming,
right,
it's a different story. You know,
same with Blockbuster.
Right.
No vision.
Right, no vision.
Yeah,
you know who else has no vision?
That's trippy.
Here we go.
Wanda.
That was a little too easy, Tom. I think we saw that one coming.
You should have jumped in on it then and not let me finish it.
Damn. Alrighty, y'all. It has been an absolute gas. Is there anything besides The Expanse and the extended version of The Good Wife, The Good Fight? That we're missing.
For some morbid reason, I'm still watching Titans.
Oh my God!
You know, Ryan. I tell you, it's morbid curiosity. It is. It's one of those.
Trigon.
Where are you going with this? Dude, I haven't watched it lately, but it is bad. It does. And here's the thing: I watch it thinking is this gonna get worse? I don't watch it like, oh, this is getting better. No, it just gets worse.
See, well,
So
here's
It
the.
doesn't improve.
I'm pot committed now. I can't stop watching.
Ah,
I gotta finish it. I'm pot
Yeah.
committed. Sorry.
Oh
is,
man,
is that a
it
first?
is tough.
That you, unless pot committed means something else in your household.
No, talking about poker.
Oh, got it. So, Witcher. Before we sign off, have you all watched Witcher, or just the two of you?
I saw it. I liked it. I thought it was good.
That was dope.
And
Very
the
dope.
ending, the little reveal at the end, I was like, oh,
Yes,
that was nice.
yes,
That was nice.
yes. See,
Yeah.
I could watch that Witcher if they Witcher like Castlevania. That would be a win
yeah.
for me.
Yeah, that was good.
I would. I'd be 125% in on that.
You could just have that dude voice it. You don't need to do another live action, but they're already doing it. They swear people like it,
I think it's
and
almost
it's
done.
so bad. Yeah, it's
I
so
just
bad.
It's okay.
I just don't
Yeah.
like Cavill as Geralt with that stoic kind of neutral bullshit. I liked this Witcher. He was more like Tony Stark Witcher. He was glib,
you're right.
and you know, he had the
Yes.
action, he had the chemistry with the witch chick he was battling, and with his old school Peggy Carter chick.
He likes
was
them old, baby.
He liked them old, baby.
He liked them all.
Yeah.
He
Knocked
liked
the
them all.
dust off that thing.
Okay.
He was about that. He was like,
was
I will
about it,
still
about
take
it.
you to the lake house, girl. I don't care.
Oh shit! You're gonna break her hip.
I'm just saying that line was crazy. When she was like, I'm almost 80 or whatever. He's like, so am I.
baby.
And age ain't nothing but a number right here, girl.
Okay, R. Kelly. Okay.
Which is this? All right. I'm done.
Iba sulla la sera.
I'm good. Anthony, good sir. Take us out, brother.
Good news, everybody.
I am the immortal Iron Fist, protector of Kunlun, sworn enemy of Tom.
Where is my Witcher suit?
Make sure you watch The Seventh Day on Netflix for all those Exorcist fans out there. It's pretty damn good. Stars Guy Pearce.
The seventh day?
The Seventh Day. It has Guy Pearce, it has Keith David, and some other folks. Good stuff. Yep. If you like horror, old school horror, Exorcist stuff, multipass.
There it is. That's an outro for that ass. Excelsior.